Hello, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your clinical request in the scleral design you're struggling with limited clearance centrally and also a poor tear pump. If we look at your design, overall the design looks good, and based on the wave representation, this lens looks like it would fit fairly well. However, as you know, clinically you're not getting any kind of clearance through here. So what will tend to happen with this back surface or the back optical zone that you've chosen, this places sort of the pivot point of this lens, or the difference, the transitional zone between the central curvature and the peripheral area, kind of in this mid-periphery area. So what will tend to happen, if you think about this as a fulcrum, if you try to loosen up this peripheral part of the lens, it's going to press the central part down. And if you try to increase the sag centrally, you're going to tighten it up over here. So it makes it very difficult to make adjustments in there. And that's probably why you're finding difficulty adjusting your parameters and finding success. So when you're faced with the situation, I find quite often you sort of just have to increase that back OZ section, get this area further out to the periphery. And one of the simplest ways to do that, since you have pretty good data overall to begin with, I would probably simply choose Tools and choose the semi-scleral option down here and let Wave just design a semi-scleral lens where it's going to move these red and blue points a little further out. And you'll see once this gets done designing, you'll see a little different looking lens. And you'll see now when you look at this lens, you've increased the sag considerably. You also have a little more clearance here peripherally, and you'll notice just from the representation in the wave design, you have much more clearance centrally. Now compare that to your lens. This is your original lens here next to it. And you'll see that you're rather snug all the way through the central area. And if you look back at this new design, you pretty much have clearance all the way around. So I think you're right, sometimes it's hard to adjust these independent variables here and then somehow increase this without having a negative effect on the peripheral clearance. So in this case, I would go with just moving those points to a little different position, and the simplest way to do that is use the Tools and semi-scleral design. I think that'll help get you back on track with this case. I wish you well and have a great day. Thanks for contacting Wave Support.